Hey y'all, listen, in this video, we are going to attempt to do an update on the mortgage payoff journey. Okay, we're going to attempt. And I say that because we're working from a sticky note and we're going to work from some screenshots that I have on my phone because we're not in front of our computer where all the things would be. So let's pull up my phone and see what I got going on there. All right, y'all, listen. Y'all know we on a journey to pay off this house. The end is in sight. When I first started this journey, y'all, the end was like nowhere in sight. The end was, y'all, we're just going to keep throwing money at this mortgage. And one day, we're going to wake up and look up and it's going to be low enough that we're going to actually feel like we can achieve paying it off. That's what we did. We put our heads down and we put the extra money that we had toward this mortgage. And editing Tanisha here. Okay, when I said that, it actually made me curious about this journey. So I went back and I looked. Now listen, this is a snippet from my Every Dollar app. Now ignore the fact that this says mortgage 4, extra mortgage 3. Every Dollar started doing this weird thing that in the future when you name something, it goes back and adjusts your past. So if I retweaked the name that I'm calling my mortgage today, it will go back and it will put that name in my past mortgages and it'll just make adjustments to the names. It's just weird. But anyways, this is my only mortgage, right? Right here. And it shows that back in February of 2016, this is when I decided to go on my mortgage payoff journey. February 2016. Okay, 9 years ago. All right, so what was interesting is 9 years ago, guys, my mortgage payment, my regular basic mortgage payment was $3,170 a month. And this was the first extra payment in life that I've ever made to this mortgage. I got this mortgage back in 2009. So I made an extra payment of $500. And we contrast that with today, which is now March, even though we're discussing our February budget or our February payment. So in March, we look at that mortgage payment. It's now $1,536. That is a reduction of $1,634 that I did through refinancing to lower interest rates. Today, my interest rate is 2.25. Back then, I can't remember what my interest rate was, but I do know that the loan started around 5% interest rate. And again, through refinancing, never pulling out equity, never adding the cost of the refinance to the loan, I was able to successfully reduce it to 2.25. And again, that's keeping your credit good, keeping your credit clean, and never missing a mortgage payment. So that's some of the things I did. So it's just exciting to see this difference here 9 years later. Let's get back to the video. We put our heads down and we put the extra money that we had toward this mortgage. And now in this year of 2025, we could actually see the end in sight. We could actually see numbers that look realistic to us, that look doable to us, that look like it's something we can accomplish now rather than some time down there. Okay. So we are so excited. Last time we talked about this, which was last month, we had a balance of $124,400. Okay. This is a mortgage that started out close to $600,000. This is a house that now is worth $1,001,100 according to Zillow.com. Okay. We owed last month $124,400. This month, the month of February, we made a huge payment. We made our biggest payment that we've ever made on this mortgage. And this payment was comprised of four parts. Okay? One, the regular mortgage payment of $1,535.91. That's the first part, the regular principal payment to the mortgage. Okay? The next part we did is what I like to make a little something extra so that the mortgage can be a nice, beautiful, round number. I like my mortgage ending in zeros, no change, zeros, no fives, zeros, no dollars, okay? And in order to figure that number out, what I do is I pull up the statement, and let's take a look at the statement right here. So we see that this is a statement, right? It tells us our balance of $124,400, right? We see we have an interest rate on this mortgage of 2.25%. And then we see over here where it says explanation of amount due. It's going to tell us before I even make the payment how much is going to go toward the principal. This is telling me that $1,302.66 will go toward the principal, and it's telling me how much is going to go toward interest, $233.25. So what I like to do is I say, okay, boom, let's take that $124,400 and let's subtract that $1,302.66 and see what we get. And then I look at how much will I need to apply to make that number a round number. In this case, I decided to apply an additional $96.34. So that's the second part of what I paid extra, okay? The next part of what I paid extra is when we look back at our January budget, I look at, oh, what didn't I spend? All the money that I did not spend in the month of January now gets to be applied to my February payment. And that number was $8,751. So that's the third piece to what I'm making in this payment. Now, the fourth piece is this. You guys know for months and months and months, we have been sending extra money to what I call my mortgage freedom account over at my high yield savings account with Goldman Sachs Markets account. Okay. So now that we are ready to actually start looking to pay this baby off, I'm actually moving money over. I didn't move over everything that's there because, one, this is the first time that I've actually started transferring money, so I wasn't sure if there was going to be a limit. Like, how much will this account allow me to move from my high yield savings account to another banking account? I decided to play with $10,000, right? A big number, but guess what? Goldman Sachs Markets didn't give me any problems. It transferred immediately. I had that money in my savings account in about 2 business days, okay? And so that's the other piece. So I'm adding that $10,000 to this mortgage payment. And again, that comes from money that I have been saving up for a time like this. And so right now, so let's go and make this payment together. All right, so hold on, y'all. Hold on. We're going to go over there. We're going to make this payment. Y'all going to hear my lovely voice as I try not to show too much information. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to talk about it. Okay, let's go and do that. Okay, here we go. So we're going to hit the pay now button to make our payment. And it takes us over to our next page. Now, right here, because I know I'm making such a big payment, I'm just very nervous. I'm making sure that I'm checking everything twice so that I don't F this up. So we see that I'm going to make an additional principal payment. But I want to go back over and make sure that this button is selected to make my normal mortgage payment. It is. So we go back over here and we're going to make sure that we are sending this to additional principal, not additional future payments. Okay, this is going to be an additional principal payment. Additional principal is what's going to bring down what's being sent to interest. Okay, additional future payments is just going to be like, listen, I'm a little late on my mortgage, but hey, I already got something in the bag. So I just checked the numbers to make sure that I am sending the $18,847.34 additional. Now at this point, I'm kind of cutting it off because it was showing my bank information. But boom, that is what we sent. So as we see, in the month of February, we made our normal mortgage payment of $1,535.91. And as we previously mentioned, $1,302.66 went to the principal. $233.25 went to interest. We then made an additional principal only payment of $18,847.34. That is a one-time payment, the biggest payment I've ever made on my mortgage of $20,383. Wow. Wow. And this gives us a brand new balance that we owe on this house of $104,250. I am so pleased with that, y'all. On our next payment, we're going to be under the hundreds. We're going to be under 100,000 that we owe on this house. I am so freaking excited because I just remember the days when I used to be like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And y'all, the day is here where we're actually going to be under $100,000 owed on this baby, on this house. Okay. The other thing I want to take a look at that I want to show y'all, because I've thought that this was fascinating as well. If we look at this loan, when I refinanced this loan, does this tell me the date that I refinanced this? Yes, it does. All right. It tells us that in June 26, 2021 was the last time I refinanced this house, right? And that's when I refinanced it down to 2.25%. Before that, it was like 2.75%. And then before that, I think it was like at 3. Yeah. I refinanced it a few times with strategy. With a strategic strategy. Hold on, y'all. My little do-rag don't want to be do-ragging. All right, so with strategy. So when I refinanced this, I owed on that loan, the refinancing of the loan at that time was $320,524. Okay, $320,524. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I don't know. Sometimes numbers be sounding funny to me, but y'all see the number. That's what I owed, right? It was going to be paid off in August of 2043, and now, when I pull up the mortgage calculator that shows me the amortization, I can't never say that word right either. It shows me the amortization of this. But you know what? I ain't got, all right, let me stop. All right, so when it shows me that after this payment, this thing went from, it was going to be paid off in August of 2043 was going to be its payoff date. And now we see after I made this payment, the new payoff date is now March of 2031. 12 years have been knocked off this mortgage since June of 2021. We've knocked 12 years off of this mortgage. So excited about that. Okay. So excited. So there you have it, y'all. That is February's mortgage update. And I know it's about March now. We haven't made our March mortgage payment yet, but this is where we stand as of February 2025. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm going to holler at y'all in the next video. Okay? Peace.